top of the morning to you today. Bright and early, raging winds. Moving on to a different deal, all right? Different deal. Haven't done this with you on YouTube for a while. Hauling hay, moving some hay. Good cattle customers of mine from up north need some hay. They purchased some hay. It's about 230 miles. They've got somewhere between 6 and 12 loads. I don't think they've quite settled on just how much they need yet. They hit me up during football season. I thought I could probably squeak a few loads during the season, but it's just too far of a run that takes up too much time to where I just couldn't make it work between practices. There wasn't really a way to do it. So, of course, I said, can we wait till football's over? They're okay with that. However, the weather has rapidly turned since like the few days after the state championship, which we played for. Lost in double overtime. It was a heartbreaker. I'll tell you about that another time. Anyway, the weather really turned to winter from these beautiful fall weeks and weekends into, oh wow, okay, it's wintertime. That's the way it is, right? So the roads have cleared up enough. We're heading down to grab our first round, our first load, and get this on and going. Something that's different today that you're going to see is that I put together a new, to me, hay train. I'll tell you about it as we progress along the video today. Let's get going. Conditions for loading hay as I could think of. We'll get through, but it's gotta go get moved out of this wind somehow. This is crazy. Oh, I've got about 6 straps over and I'm gonna lose my sanity. Well, before I tell you about loading out, look who it just so happens to be moseying on down the road here. Old Rodus the Bodice. Heading on out. He didn't even recognize me. Wow, okay, so that didn't go at all to plan. I was hoping I'd like bring you along, explain what we're doing, and then the wind starts blowing 50 miles an hour. Whoa, just raging like a bear. Just woofed. So, of course, all I can do, in fact, I should have had my glasses on, all I can do to just keep my sanity. In fact, I had a few moments where I had to just go, if you've strapped a too wide, too high load of hay before, flat sides out, you will know what I speak of in terms of trying to get a load strapped. In the end, I got about 6 of them strapped by throwing them. In the end, I had to just throw the entire roll of strap on top of the load and then crawl up. The loader was gone, couldn't get up high enough to get me. Anyway, I had to climb up the load and get up on top and then drop the straps over the side, which if it's blowing at all next time, that's just what I'll do from the get-go, because it was really maddening. You'd throw your strap and then the wind would just, so you gotta reel it back in, coil it up, and I was trying to strap while he was loading. That's the idea when you haul hay. You want to strap while he's loading so that by the time he's done loading you, you're somewhat close to being strapped. But today, no. It was 2 full hours. Normally 45 minutes, pretty well you're going to be loaded in and out. Not today. So anyway, we're gonna push this load up, drop it off, see if we can't get turned around, get back down here, and these guys sound gung-ho to reload me in the dark again to get the load on. Weight-wise, got 100,000 pounds, right? So when I haul big loads of cattle, I'm usually 105,000. Here I'm pulling a set of doubles. I've got just shy of 30 ton of hay on. So big, long, wide, tall load. Not necessarily a super crazy heavy load. These bales are actually pretty light. They weigh 1,200 and something pounds. So in terms of bales, they're actually pretty light. We'd like a little more weight because when I bid this stuff, I always do it by the ton. I bid it by the ton. So I assume the bales will be a little heavier, so my bid is a little lighter than what I want, but these are great old customers, so I don't mind running cheaper than I should for people that I do a lot of business with and that treat me really well and are very loyal. So it's all good. It's been a long day, guys. Long day, getting longer. Man, rig's looking good. Load's looking good. Hey. It's only money. Oh, all right. Well, 45 minutes later, let's go. When I buy my registration for this truck every year, I was told that I could add a permanent, basically an annual permit to my registration. A permit for hauling oversized loads like hay. And so I've had that for the last 3 years now. I've just had this attached thing that was supposed to be a permit for hauling hay and oversized. Well, I found out today that it is not a thing, and it's completely invalid, and it means nothing. So, kind of a rip. On one hand, old Merlin was real nice here. He's been around for a lot of years, and sold me a proper permit. Did get a $85 fine for not having a proper permit. Granted, as far as I knew, it was okay, but obviously we discovered that it wasn't. So that is what it is. $85 plus $75 for the actual permit. We'll add that to the 4 miles per gallon that I'm getting today, pulling this load in the wind, and we'll just kind of try to forget about it all. The bright spot is that the load is really looking nice. Everything's smooth. Good hay. The new pup trailer, which I'll tell you more about a little later. So nothing too horrible. It's kind of fun. He goes, "You haven't bought a permit since 2022. I'm like, "I know, because I thought it was on my registration all these years." Oh man, that's no good. And I was like, "Yeah, no, I know." And I've always bought hay permits in the past. I've been hauling hay for years. I always buy a permit. He goes in to sell me a permit, and he's like, "Oh, your account is closed. I can't open it." And I'm like, and I'm not sure. Old Merlin, he's got to be 75. He's very seasoned. I end up calling the number of more or less kind of, I don't want to say they're supervisors, but whoever kind of is the computer maestro in the office. I called for him. It's kind of cute. And said, "Hey, I'm here with Merlin, and can you unlock my account?" "Oh yeah, sure." And they got it unlocked, and he printed me my permits, so it's all good. Oh, you guys, it's just one of those days, could be so much worse. Everything's going smooth, just slow, just one of those like slow days. Getting them off. Yes, sirree. Wind has died off slightly. Not a ton, but a little. Pretty tickled with the old plate and everything. It appears just nice and right. No flex, no nothing. Happy about that. This dolly that I got came out of a line haul wreck. They kinked up a couple trailers or laid one over up here on the freeway. Picked up this baby. It's a 2022 Eagle Manufacturing. It's kind of an interesting piece, but anyway, I got it for like $3,200 or something. Really nice, fresh. It's designed, this tongue was designed to be retractable. So the idea behind this was you'd be going down the road pulling doubles or triples for, like, let's just say for FedEx. And when you're going down the highway, this has a wheel speed sensor that would suck the tongue in. There's a hydraulic ram back there and a little hydraulic pump that would suck the tongue in to keep the trailers tight for fuel efficiency. Then when it gets below like 40 miles an hour, it extends the tongue back out so the trailers don't kink up doing sharp turns in town. The line haul company, it must have been a situation where it was a better idea on paper because they deleted the system. They put it permanently out. They removed the pump, simplified things, which is how I would prefer to have it anyway. And I can't
I can't have this thing retracting or we'd be kinking up. I don't like leaving something like a retractable tongue up to sensors and such going down the highway when you can't see it. Neat idea, but just not a good thing to have in my opinion. So I'm glad they deleted it. In fact, if you look here, you can see the ram. It's kind of getting dark. This right here is the ram, this long shaft, and it's fully extended right now. And then they just looped the hoses together and capped it. Interesting, huh? But it's all galvanized, LED lights, got the big dual spring suspension deal for the line haul trailers. By far the nicest dolly that I have ever owned in my life, I can tell you that. All right, we're back out. You guys have been here before to this place. However, it was loading cattle. I load those pipestone cattle come out of this place that I take to Minnesota, those bred heifers sometimes, or perhaps some cows going to Boise, Idaho, down there to Kuna, or perhaps some steers going to Hiram, Utah, amongst a few other things over the years. But we're off, turned and burned. Man, it's so hard in the wintertime. These daylight hours just get so short. So now what I'm trying to accomplish here is to get back before super late tonight, so I could ideally would like to get loaded and whatnot before midnight. Whew, we made her, guys. It's late, not too late. I made really good time getting back. There's nothing better than a good loader operator, man. Old Mike here is killing it. Boom, a little more, little boom, got it. See, he knows. That's great. The wind has died down like crazy. The moon is out like wild. Oh, let me zoom back in, yeah. Anyway, I've been able to keep up strapping as he's been going without the wind raging like a beast, which has made a huge difference. So we're gonna be in good shape here tonight, wrapping this little job up. Got her weighed out. This load's about 1,000 pounds lighter than the last one, so a touch lighter, a few dollars less, but the wind has died off, so that's nice. Crazy bright night, but we're gonna go get tucked away out here. Be in real good shape for tomorrow, you guys. Real good shape for tomorrow. Man, isn't that cool how the moon is out so bright? Did pretty good for strapping in the dark, wouldn't you say? Pretty good. That one's a little off the top. I saw it last night, but it sucked it down tight enough that the strap wasn't going to slide down the bale. It's good to go. Not too shabby. This is actually really good hay. Funny thing about this hay, it's not from last summer. It's from the year before. Look how green it still is. This is what's cool about round bales. You can't do this with big square bales. A lot of people ask, why round bales versus square bales? They're so much worse to haul. Yes, they are worse to haul, no doubt. However, they keep outside. I mean, these were unprotected. They were just laid out in single rows, you know, just butted up to each other, and they're green and beautiful. I mean, this is some really nice stuff. So, kind of cool to see. Oversized. Man, looking good. Guess things are aired up. It's time to get this old show on the road, get this load off, and I got to get back in time to sing a song like I mentioned, so we'll do it. Here's a little better look at this dolly from a different angle. I think it was a little darkish. I was telling you about the extendable ram and stuff. But ironically, the first place I put this together, first load with this dolly, is just a few handful of miles from where that guy wrecked his line haul stuff. Tow truck company had posted it for sale. Said the company never showed up to get their dolly, and so he called and said, "What do you want to do?" And they said, "Whatever, we're not coming back for it, so do what you want." So he sold it after it sat for like 3 years. Another one, see there, it's not quite on. It doesn't need to be on the top center. As long as it bites into that shoulder enough, the strap's not going to slide off. You're good. If you're OCD, it might bother you going down the highway, knowing that one of your bales isn't perfectly topped off on the tippy tip.
Gets a little skinny back here with this big old long hay train. This is their alfalfa they put up. And then right here would be the start of the load we hauled in last night. Pretty good little pile.